Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is John, and you're watching Super Positive Games. I'm here with my recap of Summer Game Fest 2026 that just went down. I did this for the first time last year covering Summer Game Fest, and now I'm back here again for 2026, running through each of the major showcases from Summer Game Fest. That's going to include the PlayStation State of Play. That's going to include the Summer Game Fest proper showcase, Jeff Keighley's event. That's going to include the Day of the Devs. That's going to include Xbox's showcase. And then finally, our fifth and final stop will be the PC Gaming Show. Unfortunately, for the first time in history, Devolver Digital has not done a summer presentation. This has never been seen before in humankind. Hopefully they're back next year. Last year they did like a 10 or 15 minute presentation on a single game, which has never been seen before in the history of the world, and they kind of skipped this year, which is disappointing to see, but nevertheless we are going ahead with these 5 major showcases. Obviously there's like a ton of other smaller showcases. I feel like every year I look at the Summer Game Fest schedule, there are more and more just small showcases that I've never heard of before that join the lineup. And obviously, if I were to cover every single showcase attached to Summer Game Fest, this video would be 3 days long. So I'm just focusing on the main major showcases. So without further ado, let me get started with the PlayStation State of Play, June 2026. That started off with a double Marvel whammy. Marvel's Wolverine finally got some gameplay, 10 minutes of gameplay to be exact, of very, very bloody Wolverine combat. I'm not the biggest Wolverine fan. He's one of my favorite X-Men, but he's not my favorite. That would probably be Cyclops. But this game looks really cool. It's from Insomniac, the Spider-Man game developers, one of the best development studios in the industry. And Marvel Wolverine looks awesome. It's coming September 15th to PlayStation 5. So there you go. Really one of the coolest looking games of Summer Game Fest. But it was followed up by Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, the Marvel fighting game, very stylish art style by Arc System Works. It revealed Green Goblin, Magneto, and Carnage. And that's coming, I believe we knew this already, August 6th to PlayStation 5 and PC. Then a non-Marvel game, the first one of the showcase, Rayman Legends Retold, which is a remake of the 2013 Rayman Legends, or a remaster. This is a remaster. No, a remake. Which one is it? I'm going to put it on screen because there is a big difference. Rayman Legends Retold, October 1st, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC. Then Bancho the Chef is coming to PlayStation 5 and PC. That is a kind of spin-off of Dave the Diver, one of the characters from that indie game. Ever-expanding indie game, Dave the Diver. Bancho the Chef is an all-new standalone spin-off. No release date on Bancho. Then Kamori is coming 2027 to PlayStation 5. Then Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis got a brand new trailer. It's got a release date of February 12 next year. And then it's coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. This is one that I'm excited about. I never played the original Tomb Raider, and now it's getting remade as Legacy of Atlantis, and I'm excited for it. The game looks incredible. And it's obviously, this wasn't here, but it's preceding an all-new Tomb Raider game in I believe still 2027, Tomb Raider Catalyst. Legacy of Atlantis originally had a 2026 release date. Catalyst had a 27 release date. Now that Legacy of Atlantis is in early 2027, we'll see what happens with Catalyst, whether it still lands later on next year or gets pushed to 28. But excited to see Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. Then The Lost Wild is coming in 2027 to PlayStation 5 and PC, kind of like a Jurassic Park-like thing, not survival game, but horror game with dinosaurs running around, it looks like. if I can remember that correctly. That was a couple days ago now. Then Phantom Blade Zero, quote, full trailer and pre-order launch summer 2026, end quote. So this was kind of just like a nothing trailer, and at the end of it, it said that there will be a full trailer later this summer. So that was a weird one where it's like it showed like a 15-second teaser, and then there's like an actual real trailer later on in the summer. No disclosed dates. That's a weird thing to do. But yeah, it's getting a gameplay and story deep dive later in summer. So there you go. Dune Awakening is coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox on September 22nd. That's the big Dune, survival thing. I love Dune. I love the Dune movies, but Dune, I'm not really big on these kind of survival sandbox games. And I also don't want Dune Awakening spoiling anything before Dune Messiah. I don't really want to know too much about that world until after this final Dune movie comes out. Then Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition Remastered, which got delayed from earlier in the year, is coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2 on October 1st. And also revealed that Ziluan from Dynasty Warriors Origins is joining the game in some way, shape, or form. That's the protagonist of Dynasty Warriors Origins that came out last year. Then No Rest for the Wicked is getting its 1.0 release, coming to PlayStation 5 and PC in October. No specific day, just October. Onimusha Way of the Sword got a brand new trailer. It's coming September 25th to PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC, and there's a demo out for it right now. This is one from Capcom. Capcom's been having a monster year. They put out Monster Hunter Stories 3, obviously Resident Evil Requiem, and Pragmata earlier in the year, all big hits. So all eyes are on Onimusha to see if they can continue their hot streak. I played 5 minutes of Onimusha, the Onimusha 1 remaster that came out in 2019. Didn't love it, but Onimusha Way of the Sword looks really, really good. Really slow-paced, methodical, chunky sword combat. It a little bit of Sekiro powering in there, it looks like, based on the trailer. Some interesting looking characters going on. I'm interested to give it a shot. I think I'd like this one more than my experience with the remake or remaster of that first game several years ago. So yeah, that's exciting times. Then Silent Hill Townfall got an all-new trailer. That's coming September 24th to PlayStation 5 and PC. Disappointed that this one's missing Xbox, because last year was the year of Silent Hill for me, where I, for the first time ever, played Silent Hill 2, the remake, and also Silent Hill F. Both of them landed on my top 10 games of the year list. Silent Hill 2 was number 3 on that list, so I am into the Silent Hill franchise, but this new first-person game, Silent Hill Townfall, is skipping Xbox this year, and that's majorly disappointing. I think that it'll more than likely come around to Xbox next year, just like Silent Hill 2 did last year. But yeah, that's another September game. We'll talk about that, because we're about to have a serious problem here in September and the surrounding weeks, as you'll come to see with the rest of these release dates. Ace Combat 8 Wings of Thieves is coming October 2nd to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And those who pre-order will get Ace Combat Zero: The Belkan War ported. So there's a port of Ace Combat Zero: The Belkan War that is a pre-order bonus for Ace Combat 8. It's not a remaster or anything. It's just a port of that game that's exclusively available as part of the pre-order thing. As far as I know, currently it's not confirmed to have a separate release. So hopefully that gets a separate release. But yeah, Ace Combat 8 Wings of Thieves grabbed my attention, I believe, at the Game Awards, this past Game Awards, where it was revealed. And I'm not into any of the Ace Combat series or any dogfighting games like that, but Ace Combat 8's trailer showed a heavy emphasis on narrative and character, which was extremely unexpected. It reminded me of a game like Screamer, which is a racing game, but has like an actual like well written story with a bunch of insanely well done characters and a narrative that's really interesting. Ace Combat 8 looks like it's doing a similar thing, so I have my eye on it. I'll see if the narrative is all it's cracked up to be, and I'll have to figure out a way to like aerial dogfighting games. But that's Ace Combat 8. Stuntman Hollywood got a big reveal coming soon to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. I don't know much about Stuntman Hollywood at all, but this one looks like something I'd be totally interested in. It shows kind of like famous cars throughout pop culture history. It's got the DeLorean. It's got a Fast and Furious car that's popular. I don't know which one it was. And a bunch of other cool things in there, and I like that. I'd be down for that. Racing through movie sets and stuff like that sounds or looked really cool. Ill got a new trailer. It's coming 2027 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Ill has been on my radar, a lot of people's radar. It's a horror game, viscerally like disgusting, body dismemberment when you're shooting off enemy limbs and stuff. Interesting thing though, all the other looks at Ill that have come out are very dark and like gritty. This one looked a little, not lighter, but you have more like a little bit more, some more brighter environments, I think, in this one around, which is surprising to see. And you got a little bit more of a look at kind of shimmying across walls, across gaps and stuff. From what I can remember from a couple days ago, this Ill trailer looked a little different from the ones, the all dark ones and in the dimly lit rooms from the past. But it still looked incredible. So I'm excited to see what the rest of that game looks like when it comes out next year. Control Resident got a new trailer and a release date of September 24th. It's coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Mac. I'm very excited for this. It's obviously a third-person melee combat game instead of third-person shooting from the first game. This time you're playing as Jesse's brother Dylan in the streets of New York, but it's all like twisted and fucked up. I think the visuals of this game are going to blow me away. This trailer specifically, I think there was another trailer at Summer Game Fest and then another deeper dive look in the PC gaming show, so I'll be bringing this one up a lot. But Control Resident, every trailer that I keep seeing of it, it just blows my mind with some of the visuals that I'm seeing from it, and I can't wait to play it. It seems to be more of like an open like game in terms of exploration, and that kind of worries me because everything just looks so overwhelming, where there are buildings hanging from the sky and you could like go and float to them and land on them and walk on them on like the sides of buildings, and it looks very expansive, and it looks also a little overwhelming. So we'll see how that lands with me when it comes out on September 24th, along with about 18 other games that day. Then Marathon Season 2 Nightfall got a new trailer, and it's out right now. I've been playing Marathon on and off throughout the year since it came out, and I'm not that hardcore into it, but I like kind of getting a little into the weeds with some of the numbers and some of the gear and my vault. And really, what I love to do mostly in that game is just exist in those worlds. Sometimes I just spawn into a map as Rook, the kind of solo character, and I just want to walk around, pick some items up and just look at the environments. It's such a beautiful game. I haven't jumped into Season 2 yet, but I think I will soon, just to get a little taste of what it has to offer. That's kind of how I'm playing Marathon. I'm not getting hardcore into it like everybody else is, but I really love that game's visuals. Then we got a little PS Plus segment. RuneScape Dragon Wilds is coming fall 2026. And then the PlayStation Classics catalog is getting Guitar Man in June, PsyOps The Mindgate Conspiracy in July, Onimusha Dawn of Dreams in August. So that's the PlayStation Classics catalog and the conclusion of the small PS Plus segment. Then, 2 more games. Until Dawn 2 got a reveal trailer coming 2027 to PlayStation 5. It doesn't seem like Supermassive is making this one. Supermassive's been doing their own thing with the Dark Pictures games. The Quarry, a couple years ago, they just put out Directive 8020, which is a Dark Picture anthology game. And I'm in the middle of that. I haven't touched it in a couple weeks because a whole other bunch of games came out, and I don't need to get into that. But, yeah, Until Dawn 2. Until Dawn movie came out, I think, last year or the year before. I think it was last year. I remember because it was nominated for a fucking game award for best adaptation at this past Game Awards, which was bizarre. But yeah, full blown sequel out next year. And then the final thing was God of War Laufey, a 20-minute gameplay reveal trailer and that's coming to PlayStation 5. No year put on that. They did not give a year. There was no 2027 on that, so it could be next year. It could be 2028. We'll see. Probably sooner because they gave a 20-minute gameplay trailer, which looked incredible. The game, I don't know anything about the God of War lore. I've never played a God of War game, but this one looked incredible. You're playing as what I believe is Kratos' partner, Faye, I think her name is, and you're in kind of like the afterlife, and there's this kind of blend of different mythologies and stuff, and different gods from different mythologies are kind of antagonizing her, and the combat looks incredible. It has like this kind of aerial combat that's really cool, and talking cube, which has been the talk of Summer Game Fest, this talking gelatinous cube, which seems to be an actual important character. I believe this cube is on the cover art for the game. Like I believe so. I could be wrong. I could check and see, but yeah, he's on the fucking cover of the game, which is crazy. But yeah, really cool reveal. And that does it for the state of play. Let's move on to Summer Game Fest Showcase proper for 2026. It got off to an incredibly strong start this Summer Game Fest. And a pretty damn strong ending as well. So this was a Summer Game Fest Showcase for the past couple years has been pretty consistently good. Good to great, I'd say. And this one was no exception. It started things off with Resident Evil Veronica coming 2027 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. This is the remake of Resident Evil Code Veronica. It's been rumored for quite some time, and I'm glad that it's been revealed. They dropped the code. And what I was worried about for the longest time, as it was being rumored for the past couple years, is it was the more heavily rumored game between Code Veronica and Resident Evil Zero remake. What people were floating was a Resident Evil Code Veronica plus RE0 remake where they combined the two. And I am totally against that, so I'm glad that that's not the case. I get to enjoy Veronica as a separate entity, as it was and as it is going to be, and RE0 remake, if it comes out later down the road, it'll be its own separate game, as that's the way God intended. So Resident Evil Veronica, the trailer was in first person, and so I have a couple questions about Veronica. Is the game going to be, because the first game was in third person, obviously, or I believe it was, yeah, it was a third person game. The trailer was in first person, and you're playing as Jill this time around, not Claire, right? Jill or Claire? If it's Jill, she looks very, very different from how she looked in RE3. But regardless, I'm always excited for a new Resident Evil game. And I thought that a new Resident Evil game would be revealed this year, because that's kind of been the pattern. If you think about how these games have come out in the past. Like Resident Evil games only come out in the first like 3 months of the year. They're either February or March games every time, except for Village, which was, I believe, May. I could correct myself on that. That was several years ago, but they only drop in the first couple months of the year. And so since Requiem came out earlier this year, I assumed that they had more Resident Evil, because they had a several year gap since RE4, right? We went through 2024 and 2025 with no Resident Evil games, and then here we go in 2026 with Requiem, but they always come out with more than one Resident Evil project at a time after a gap like that. And so, Resident Evil Veronica being rumored for so long, I thought that, okay, it's probably a 2027 game, and if it is, it's probably the first couple months of the year, which hasn't been confirmed yet. It's just 2027. But, I mean, I'd bet the house on a February or March release for that. And so if it's going to be out early next year, it'll be shown here at Summer Game Fest, and there you go, opens the show. Then Mighty Cuphead Adventure is coming to, quote, modern consoles, end quote, and PC. That's kind of like a weird blend of, because Cuphead has been, it's this kind of 30s, 40s cartoon, but this time Mighty Cuphead Adventure, they're putting in like this 80s and 90s retro aesthetic. It's really interesting blend of looks there. It looks incredible. It looks like a smaller scale game, but it looks like it's still a 2D platformer, just like the original Cuphead was. And Studio MDHR also confirmed that a new Cuphead game is in development, a new hand-drawn traditional style Cuphead game. This Mighty Cuphead Adventure game is not hand-drawn like the first game is. It's a kind of separate side project with a different art style and a different look. I tried Cuphead when it came out in 2017. Didn't get too far. It's extremely difficult. I should give it another try, though. But yeah, I'm excited to see what these new Cuphead games turn out to be. Then Alien Isolation 2 is coming to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. When the original game came out in 2014, I was too scared. I was not playing horror games. I banned them from my eyes. And since then, I've become a pretty big fan of horror games, and also a pretty big fan of the Alien movies. 2 years ago, I watched the entire Alien franchise, and I loved it. And so I think it's high time, especially now, that I finally play Alien Isolation before Alien Isolation 2 drops. No release year on that, but hopefully it's next year. We'll see. Hopefully I have enough time to play through that first game as well. Gen Atlas got another look. It's coming to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. This is the Project Robot game from the Team Ico developer, a legendary Japanese developer. And this new game, Gen Atlas, got its title confirmed, consoles confirmed, but no release window. The game looks incredible. The game's music looks amazing. All these robots, this kind of wasteland of robots, and you're climbing them and piloting them, and it's really looks like a true work of art. And I'm excited to see another look at it, and to hopefully get a release window soon. Also, cool name, Gen Atlas. Although the Gen is lowercase in the title art, I don't know if that's a stylized thing, but cool title. And then Blood Message got another trailer. No platforms or year or release window confirmed. It's a really cool looking narrative-driven game. Not much else to say about Blood Message. It just kind of showed up. Then Stranger of Heaven confirmed its January 15th, 2027 release date, and it also confirmed that Tupac is in the game. So there's a lot to dig into here. First of all, its release date extremely earlier in the year. right? Whenever a January game comes out, first of all, typically AAA games usually don't come out in January. If they do, it's like the final closing days of January, right? Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth in 2024 was like January 24th or 26th. This is January 15th, very early in January for Stranger Than Heaven. And then Tupac is in the game. Snoop Dogg has already been confirmed to be in the game, and now they're using Tupac's likeness for I don't know if he's in the game as Tupac. I really doubt that that's the case. He's probably they're using his likeness for some other character, but I don't know how to feel about that. Snoop Dogg is I like Snoop Dogg, and he's still alive. You know what I mean? Tupac is not, and they're using his likeness and face in this video game. Not sure how to feel about that, but I'm still very excited for Stranger Than Heaven. I just wish they would come out and say that it's a Yakuza Like a Dragon game, because it's pretty much confirmed in the sense that it's the origins of the Tojo clan. That's confirmed, and they've named the Tojo clan in an event. So the Tojo clan is named and confirmed. And also, Kamurocho from the Yakuza series is a location in Stranger Than Heaven that's named and confirmed. Okay? These are two fictional entities that are named and confirmed officially in Stranger Than Heaven. It is a Like a Dragon Yakuza origin story experience, and I wish they would just come out and say it already. I don't know what would be the big deal. Just say it. RGG Studio, just fucking say it. This game looks incredible. Every time I see it, I'm impressed. The music's great. I can't wait to just dig into it. It's one of those games where I've seen enough. I just need to play it. So thankfully, I'll be able to in January. Snoop Dogg came out on the stage with Jeff Keighley and talked a little bit about Stranger Than Heaven and Tupac, and confirmed that Death Row Games is still a thing. I have that as its own bullet point here. I just, they treat it like an announcement, so I put it down here. Death Row Games, that was established by Snoop Dogg a couple years ago. I don't think they've made a game yet, but it's still a thing. Then Hayx is coming 2027 to PC. Dead by Daylight, quote, "You're invited, June 14th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time." And I have in quotes, it's the game's 10th anniversary. So there's probably something going on there for Dead by Daylight. Then Mortal Shell 2 has an open beta out now on Steam. No date, no platforms. I'm disappointed because Mortal Shell 2 looks incredible. I played the first Mortal Shell in 2020. It was my first Souls-like that I ever beaten. And I've been really, really looking forward to Mortal Shell 2, one of my most highly anticipated games of this year. And it was nice to see it here again. But I am saddened that we don't have a release window still. And honestly, I hope it's not this year because of all the other games that are packing themselves in like sardines in October and September to avoid GTA 6. I think Mortal Shell 2 needs to come next year. But it's still kind of sad not to see any kind of window or 2027. But the game looks incredible. I can't wait to play it. Then Sand Raiders of Sophie has a server slam out now on Steam. Then Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced got a new trailer reminding everybody it's out on July 9th. And of course, that's Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. We knew that information. This is just kind of like hey, we're coming out next month. The remake of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. I like Black Flag. It was my first Assassin's Creed game. That was also my first Xbox One game back in the late days of 2013 there. And I don't know if I'll play the remake, Resynced. We'll see. I probably won't because I'm going to be busy this summer doing something else that I'll talk about in a little while. But yeah, I don't think I'll have time to touch on that this year. Eventually in the future, for sure, maybe. But we'll see. Then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin got revealed. And this is a special reveal because it's being made by Platinum Games, the veteran action studio, the acclaimed action studio behind Nier Automata, behind, I believe, the Bayonetta games, and behind Scalebound, which never came out. Shout out. But yeah, a TMNT game by Platinum Games. People are pretty excited about that. Action game fans are excited. Then Fortnite Chapter 7 Season 3 Runners is out now. There's some kind of Shattered event that might still be going on, might not. I don't know. That's for you to decide. Gundam Rogue Orbit is coming 2027. An extremely hard game is coming July 24th to PC. That is you would think that would be the worst video game title in Summer Game Fest 2026. It's not. There's one in PC Gaming Show that we'll get to that is worse. Crossfire is coming to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. This is a trailer that really, really impressed me. Not with its visuals, but it's kind of like, so there are two military people who are opposing, but they have to come together to survive. It's narrative. I forgot who the developer is, but I believe it's ex Naughty Dog and ex someone else. I'll put it up on screen, but ex Naughty Dog developers. And this looks just incredible story-wise. The animations of crawling around through cover look impeccable. I'm not sure if this I think it is connected to the Crossfire X game or the Crossfire multiplayer series that exists. But this looks like an all-new entity, an all-new standalone thing, and it looks unbelievable. One of the best trailers of Summer Game Fest for me, Crossfire. Can't say enough about that trailer. Hopefully it turns out great. Then, of course, Control Resonant shows back up with another trailer. Of course, September 24th, Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, and PC. I believe this is the one at the Summer Game Fest show that really blew my mind with the visuals. With it's one of its bosses, or one of its entities in particular, really took me aback. It kind of impressed me there. But yeah, there's Control Resonant showing back up. We'll see it one more time before the end of this video. Guild Wars, it's one of those, Control Resonant's one of those games. Every E3 or Summer Game Fest has that one game that's at every showcase. That one AAA game that just shows up at every single showcase. And that's Control Resonant this year. Guild Wars 3 coming to PlayStation 5, PC. There's a beta coming this fall. Beta coming fall 2027. Not this fall, next fall, which is insane. An insane thing to say for a beta. A beta is coming to this game in a year and a half. That's crazy. Guild Wars 3. Then Star Wars Galactic Racer got a new trailer. It's coming out on October 6th for Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. There's another Star Wars game in this showcase that I'm a little bit more excited about. Star Wars Galactic Racer, of course, the pod racing or racing game in the Star Wars universe. Looks really cool. Yeah, that's October 6th. Another big game coming October 6th we'll talk about in a little bit. End of Abyss is coming 5 days earlier on October 1st to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. This is a kind of Signalis-looking Little Nightmares kind of atmosphere Resident Evil game with like a kind of isometric looking camera. Looks really, really interesting to me. I can't wait to give it a shot in October. Last Harbor is coming to PC. Virtua Fighter Crossroads is coming 2027. I'm not a Virtua Fighter guy, but this trailer, it looks like correct me if I'm wrong, fighting games typically don't have very good stories or narratives that are worth a damn, really. I played Street Fighter 6, was the last fighting game that I really dug my teeth into. More on Street Fighter 6 in a little bit. I didn't love it for its narrative, I'll tell you that. For its kind of story mode, world tour narrative. I did not like it for that. Virtua Fighter Crossroads, though, this trailer, which turns out to be Virtua Fighter 6, by the way. And it's also made by RGG Studio, the Like a Dragon developer. So that kind of maybe explains why it seems like there's a little bit more care given to the narrative this time around, because RGG's writing team is number one in the biz. All right. But this trailer really impressed me with its care to like its storytelling for a fighting game. So I'm interested. I have my eye on you, Virtua Fighter Crossroads. Okay, watch out there. Then RuneScape Dragon Wilds, September 15th to Steam. It's September 15th, and there's Steam Early Access out now. It's also coming to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. Then we got a little Switch 2 Sizzler. The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales are coming June 18th. Also coming to Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC. Orbitals is coming 2026. And Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions coming June 11th, also to Xbox Series X and S and PC. That's the Switch 2 Sizzler. I believe there's another Switch 2 Sizzler later on. Soulframe is getting pre-alpha / preludes on Steam. Grounded 2 had a which is on Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PlayStation 5. Into the Abyss update, it's coming August 11th for that. Mafia: The Old Country had a huge surprise with the Man of Honor story DLC coming August 14th. The big deal here is Don Salieri. A young Don Salieri is in the building for Mafia: The Old Country DLC. Okay, that was the big reveal. Don Salieri, of course, the big Don in Mafia 1, aka Mafia Definitive Edition. He looks younger here. Now, here's the thing about Mafia: The Old Country. There are a couple of familiar names and faces in Mafia: The Old Country, some of them more prominent than others. I won't get into that. In one of the levels of The Old Country, you could find a police document, on a police report, with the name one Salieri written on it, indicating that Salieri was in the area around the time of Mafia: The Old Country, doing some crime and whatever. So he was there at the time of those events. Okay, I discovered that when I played The Old Country. I was like, holy shit. And I thought at the time it was just a reference. I didn't think anything more of it. I was like, oh, cool. Young Don Salieri's running around here too. That's pretty cool. But now here he is in a DLC, Man of Honor. The trailer shows him sitting down with Enzo. So we're going to probably, and this is probably going to take place sometime before the end of the events of Mafia: The Old Country, where Enzo's going to get to meet Don Salieri, and we'll see what happens. I don't know how to feel about that. I kind of like the idea of knowing that that Salieri was just running around, a young Salieri running wild doing crimes. But now we're going to actually get to see him and interact with him in this DLC. That's really cool. 1666 Amsterdam coming to PC. The prologue is out now. Early access later this year. That's an ex-Ubisoft developer, I believe. You're playing as this witch on a broom, hitting people with your stick in this red garbed witch. Really cool looking game. Saw Genesis is a 3v1 multiplayer game. It's getting a closed alpha. It's on PC. Lords of the Fallen 2 got a new trailer. It's coming this fall to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. I gotta tell you, I'm not a huge fan of the 2023's Lords of the Fallen reboot at all. And so I'm not really looking between this and Mortal Shell 2. I'm way more on board for Mortal Shell 2. Lords of the Fallen 2, not really that interested in that, especially if it comes out this fall. I think that's a hard pass for me for Lords of the Fallen 2, to be honest with you. And I love Souls-likes. Lords of the Fallen 2023, not great. It might have even been one of my worst 3 games in that year. I'll have to go back and check. Then Star Wars Zero Company got an all-new trailer. It's coming August 27th, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. I'm very excited for this. I'm more excited for this than Galactic Racer. The Zero Company is a turn-based tactics, like an XCOM-like tactics game. And I fucking really want that in my life. I want to get into the details, into the nitty-gritty of the Star Wars universe via a tactics game, and so I am incredibly excited for Zero Company. When I play it, I want Zero Company, because I'm going to have to be alone for this one. All right. The Blood of Dawnwalker comes September 3rd. I believe that's already known, but it got a new trailer here for Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. That's what I'm on the fence about. It's ex-Witcher developers making this. And I'm not a big Witcher fan, to tell you the truth. I feel like I should give Witcher a fair shot, but not right now, especially not this fall. It's out earlier on in September, but it's surrounded by a late August and late September that is absolutely brutal. Brutal. Like the busiest like September in history. And so it's just not going to be a priority for me. It's also going to be a 50-hour RPG, 60-hour game that I'm not sure I'm going to have the time to commit to that and be able to play everything else around it that I want to later this fall. I don't think it's going to happen this year for Blood of Dawnwalker. For me. But then Among Us Story, On Guard is coming to PC. This kind of narrative Among Us game. And then the Among Us TV series got a new trailer. It's out now on Paramount Plus. Then 007 First Light is getting a new story mission, quote, Bavma will return, end quote. So there you go. No date on that or anything, but yeah, I'm in the middle of 007 First Light, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm near the end. I'm like a mission away from beating this game, and it's been one of my favorite games of the year so far. It's blown my mind. An early mission blew my fucking mind, and it's a damn good game. And so there's a new story mission involving Bavma at some point in the future. He will return for Avengers Endgame. That's correct, yes. Another Switch 2 sizzler. Okay, this time it included Final Fantasy XIV Online Early Access in August for Switch 2. Turok Origins coming in fall, also to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. Armistice is coming in winter, also to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. Concluding the second Switch 2 sizzler. Gothic 1 Remake is out right now this very second on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. I'm hoping to get around to Gothic 1 Remake this summer. I've never played a Gothic game, but this one looks really cool. I'm in the mood for like a third-person fantasy RPG like that, and so I want to play that. Then Aeon 2 coming September 2026 to PC. Wuthering Waves cross Cyberpunk Edgerunners, so that's a little collab between Wuthering Waves, not Wuthering Heights, I always confuse those two, and Cyberpunk Edgerunners, June 8th. Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance expansion coming 2027. Swords of Legends is coming to PC, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and it's coming soon, in quotes, to all those platforms. This one's cool. Hot Wheels Infinite Rush, September 24th, to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. This is an open-world Hot Wheels game. All the other games have been track racers. This one, open world. It's kind of like taking inspirations from Forza Horizon a little bit, but it's in this kind of toy world. What's really cool about this is it's similar to Forza Horizon, but it's also similar to the recent LEGO games, the Skywalker Saga and Legacy of the Dark Knight, which I'm playing right now. Not this moment, but I am playing, where the plastic on the vehicles is like you could see the plastic textures and the little plastic lines. I love that about these new LEGO games, and I saw that in this new Hot Wheels game trailer, where you could see those little plastic details on the cars. I thought that was really a nice touch. A really nice touch to really differentiate, because sometimes these games look so good that these cars can look real sometimes. So it's nice that they have those plastic textures on there, giving it that extra toy look. But yeah, I'd be interested in playing this if it wasn't in the bloodbath of September. Maybe I could get around to it. We'll see if I could swing it, but we'll see. Then, speaking of racing games, Sonic Racing Crossworld, it's Sonic Racing all around the world. Okay, revealed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem in July. So that crossover is coming next month. And then Avatar Legends crossover in October, but it's not done. It revealed its plans for year 2, which includes Godzilla and Evangelion, which are big deals. So here's the thing. Sonic Racing Crossworlds, the first couple collabs, Ninja Turtles, SpongeBob, Minecraft, Avatar Legends, these are all they're all kind of like cartoony, I'd say, right? These cartoony kind of collabs. But now it's going to get Godzilla and Evangelion. Those are two like really obviously Godzilla's a big deal. Those feel different to me because I've never seen Evangelion, but I know it's a huge deal. I know it's a huge deal in the world of anime, and to see it come to a Sonic racing game like that is pretty wild to me. That's really cool, and Sonic Racing Crossworlds is making a statement. It's here to stay. It's the Smash Brothers of racing games, okay? And it's fucking really cool to see them nail down these crossovers with stuff like Godzilla. Godzilla's coming to Sonic Racing. That's cool. I should really get back into Sonic Racing and check out more of the collabs, because I really only played it at launch, and I'm not even sure if I played any of the collaboration characters, which is a fucking shame. I should get back in there and try that out, but really cool to see what Sonic Racing Crossworlds is bringing to the game. And yeah, hopefully it has more stuff in the future, more cool stuff in the future. And then Sonic Pico Park also. That was part of like a big Sonic anniversary. I forgot which year it is. 30th for Sonic? 35th? I'll have to check and correct it on screen. But yeah, really cool stuff from Sonic. We're in the home stretch of the Summer Game Fest showcase. Stick with me here. Attack on Titan 3 coming July 1st. Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. Clutch is coming spring 2027 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. These are Forza Horizon developers who are doing this really cool game that looks really narrative driven. I'm really interested in it. When it was first announced a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh, whatever. But it looks like it has a really, really good narrative to it. Chronicles Medieval coming early access 2026 to PC. Sea of Remnants got a appearance. Hitman World of Assassination, The Wizard, featuring Wiz Khalifa. It's a elusive target coming live from June 5th to July 5th. So get in there, Hitman fans. Pal World's getting a 1.0 release on July 10th. All platforms it's currently on, ? Then some pretty huge deals. The Wolf Among Us 2 got a new trailer. So, which sent me out of my... I had because Jeff Keighley was doing the thing where he hypes it up, right? And I was like, okay, what is he talking about? And then it showed the art style. The trailer started, showed the art style, and I let out an audible gasp. That's how I sounded when this new Among Us, the Wolf Among Us trailer came up. And I fucking can't wait for this. It got a 2027 window, so hopefully it does come out next year. I am so ready for this shit, man. I love Telltale. I miss Telltale, and I can't wait for this Wolf Among Us 2. But in the meantime, the Wolf Among Us 1 is getting remastered, Wolf Among Us Remastered, holiday 2026. So I am 100% playing this remaster and just getting back into that world in preparation for 2. Can't wait for that. Then Stellar Blade Blood Rain got a reveal trailer. Really, really cool looking trailer. Incredible action. Obviously, Stellar Blade 1 is a PlayStation exclusive, but Shift Up, the developer, is self-publishing. It's pulling away from that PlayStation partnership a little bit. This is still probably gonna be out on PlayStation, but I'm not sure it's gonna be exclusive. I think this is probably gonna be also coming to Xbox and PC day and date this time around, and thank God, because this game looks awesome. Then Street Fighter 6 announced its Year 4 lineup. It's going to be Yasmin, Arjun, Bosch. Bosch is from the Street Fighter 6 World Tour story, which is interesting, and Tifa from Final Fantasy. So that's a cool little collab there. I'm not sure. It's pretty rare to see Street Fighter do a collab like that. Usually all of their DLC characters are in universe, but that's an interesting one. And then we ended with Final Fantasy VII Revelation coming spring 2027 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. That's right. Final Fantasy VII Revelation is a multi-platform game. Thank the Lord. I've been wanting to play 7 Remake since it came out in 2020. It came to Xbox last year or in 2024. I can't remember. I'll correct that on screen. But like, It finally came to Xbox very recently, and so did Rebirth. And so they're both on Xbox right now. And so because of that, my plans are this summer, I'm giving myself all of July to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. Okay? And then probably in the winter time, I'll play Rebirth, and then I'll be all prepared for Revelation next spring. Okay? I want to get in on this day one. I want to be in. I know I'm not a Final Fantasy fan. The only one I played was Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins in 2022. I played like maybe half of it, maybe. Didn't love it. But that's the only Final Fantasy game I've ever played. So I'm excited to get in on the Final Fantasy VII train here this time around. But there's a lot of preparation to do. These games are extremely highly regarded, so I feel like I'm in for a treat here. And so I'm very excited for this. Finally, I get to dive into that stuff. And hopefully, these are very, very long games, so hopefully I could get them, beat them before Revelation. Next, the Day of the Devs. The Day of the Devs Summer Game Fest 2026 Showcase. Followed right after the Summer Game Fest proper show. Started with Blood Dungeon, got a reveal trailer coming late summer 2026. Tenebris Somnia coming October 16th to, quote, consoles, end quote, and PC. Mr. Records coming to PC. This is a really cool rhythm-based kind of 2D platformer rhythm game where you could also run a record store. That's really nice. One of the highlights of this show. 33 Immortals is coming June 10th to Xbox Series X and S and PC. Dreadmore is coming Q4 2026 to PC. That's also on the 33 Immortals. I wanted to see At Fate's End, the studio's other game. It's the studio behind Spiritfarer. I don't give a shit about this 33 multiplayer or 33 player Immortals game. I don't care. Honestly, I'm being honest with you. I want to see At Fate's End. Okay, where is that? Dreadmore, of course, is like a first-person Dredge. If you remember Dredge from a couple years ago, a lovely indie game, a fishing-based indie game. Dreadmore looks like that, but in first person. It looks like that mixed with South of Midnight. It's in this kind of dark swamp. The art style, the environments look stunning. I want to play Dreadmore. Threads of Time coming to Xbox Series X and S and PC. N plus Infinity times 2 coming, quote, sometime next year, end quote, to, quote, all platforms, end quote. Into the Unwell is coming 2027 to PC. That's one that I hope comes to consoles too. Bub is coming 2027 to PC. That's a really interesting looking narrative adventure game set in New York City, but using all these I believe it's handcrafted, using all these kinds of materials, and it's really fucking cool trailer for Bub. Lazy River, and a cool story behind Bub as well. Lazy River coming to early access summer 2027 to PC. You're in a water park, Lazy River, and you have to get to the end. It's like a survival crafting game. You build a raft, and it's crazy. It looks cool. Prove You're Human coming to PC. Ithaca has a Kickstarter up. It's coming late 2027 to PC. Screenbound is one I had my eye on, coming September 10th to, quote, all platforms. That's one where it's like it's a 3D game, but you are looking down at this kind of Game Boy handheld console, and it's a 2D game on the console, and you're controlling both at the same time in the same thing. It's really fucking cool. Coming September 10th. Shot One Fighters coming to PC. Apple Crumble, quote, later this year to PC. Slap Out of It coming to, quote, PC and console next year, end quote. Super Ukulele Kart coming to PC. I have in parentheses console, also likely but not confirmed yet. This was a cool surprise here. Super Ukulele Kart. I played Yooka-Replayly last year. Really liked it. Nice 3D platformer, so it's getting a kart racer. That's fun times. Hopefully it comes to consoles. Into the Fire's coming to Steam. Trine 6 Together in Time is coming September 17th to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Switch 2. And then finally, the final game of Day of the Devs, When Sirens Fall Silent, is coming to PC. That one looks really interesting as well. That one caught my eye. Moving on now, the Xbox Game Showcase 2026. We kick things off with Gears of War E-Day. Got a full-blown gameplay trailer, a release date of October 6th, and it is a Xbox console exclusive. That's right. So all this buzz about, all this talk about, PlayStation ports and all this, and there's been all that drama. They came out and said Gears of War E-Day is an Xbox console exclusive. For what that's worth, I believe it's also probably coming to PC, so it's going to be PC and Xbox as well. But no PlayStation, which was assumed because last year Gears of War Reloaded came to PlayStation, the first ever Gears of War on PlayStation. And Halo Campaign Evolved is also coming to PS5. We'll get to that in a bit, but yeah, that's interesting. Gears of War E-Day looked incredible. They did a direct, so there's more to talk about there. But yeah, it looks really good. It looks really, really good. Fable got a new character trailer for Isabelle. It's coming, release date February 23rd to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. So there you go with that February 23rd release date. This new character, this was by far, Fable has been shown a number of times now throughout the last couple of years. This is by far the best that I've seen. This is the best Fable has looked, in my opinion, because this new character, Isabelle, looks like a villain, but this trailer also shows some of the conflicts between some of its characters. And I think that's really important to say, hey, this is an open world RPG where the player's going to have all these choices to and they could fuck with all the townspeople and all this reputation stuff, but it looks like there's a really, really, really good narrative brewing at this game's core, and this trailer kind of showed that, and I'm fucking really excited for that. This is the best Fable trailer yet. Halo Campaign Evolved is coming July 28th to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. So this was like a big trailer. Confirmed that 3 new missions have been made for the game. I don't know if I'm going to get around to playing Halo Campaign Evolved. I'd like to. But we'll see if I'm going to have the time. Of course, this July is going to be dedicated to playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. So hopefully if I could fit in Campaign Evolved in there as well. I will say, though, this is the Halo Studios' first Unreal Engine 5 game. And I know this is just a trailer. But art style-wise, in terms of strictly art style, I think Halo looks better in the Slipspace engine. However, than it does in Unreal Engine 5. However, if moving to Unreal Engine 5 means that we get to have more Halo games and it's easier on the development team and the development process, then I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Like this Halo Campaign Evolved, it looks as colorful as the original Halo does. I will say that, and that's pretty cool to see. I have to give this trailer another look because I might walk back that statement that I just made about Slipspace, about Halo looking better in Slipspace. But if UE5 gets us more Halo games and is easier on development, I'm all for UE5. You know what I mean? Resonance: A Plague Tale Legacy is coming August 27th to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. This is an interesting one. You're playing as, I believe her name is Sophia from the second game, and it doesn't look like, this looks like a full-blown third-person melee combat game. It doesn't look like there's a ton of stealth going on, because the first 2 games are all about stealth. I don't think you could straight up fight anybody with any kind of melee weapon in those games. This time you can, and it looks like stealth won't be a focus. So that's very interesting. I'm excited to check that one out. Then Persona 4 Revival got a release date, thank God, for February 18th, 2027. Thank God this is not trying to sneak out this year, because I would not be able to play it. It's coming out early next year. I'm going to have plenty of time to enjoy it next year. I played Persona 3 Reload in 2024, one of my favorite games of that year, 2 years ago. And so I'm excited to get into Persona 4 Revival early next year. More on Persona in a bit. State of Decay 3 is coming 2027 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. Not really big State of Decay fan. I'm not a big survival crafting fan like that. But it's finally coming next year, I guess. I don't think I'm really going to play it. We'll see what happens. I don't think the game looks great visually in this trailer, but, it's coming. It's coming. Sea of Thieves is getting the Custom Seas free update, which is also Season 20, on June 18th. Metro 2039 got a new trailer coming February 2027 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. Very excited. I love the Metro games. Very excited for 2039. Every trailer that I've seen of this looks impeccable. Can't wait. Bad Magpie is coming 2027 to Xbox Series X and S and PC. This one reminded me a lot of Untitled Goose Game, where you're just kind of like this bird and you're fucking with everybody. But at the end of the trailer, you come across this kind of alien comet that crashed into the earth, and there's this really tender moment. It's weird. It has my attention. Bad Magpie. Can't wait to see what that's all about next year. It's one of two like smaller scale indie looking games on this list that really captured my attention. The other one more so, and I'll get to that. Wo Long 2 Wings of Ember is coming early 2027 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. Team Ninja just keeps cranking out games left and right, and Wo Long 2 did not play the first one. I wanted to, didn't get around to it when it first came out, but here's the sequel. Join Us is coming March 2027 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. This one reminded me a lot of Far Cry 5. It's like this cult builder, this American cult builder in like the Montana mountains. Very chaotic, very hectic. So there you go. Senua got a reveal. Coming 2027, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. This was the biggest surprise of the show to me. I was not expecting to see a Ninja Theory game until like 4 years from now. This is insane to me because Hellblade 2 came out only 2 years ago. Only 2 years ago, and they're already revealing gameplay of a whole new one. I can't believe that. And this one looks very different. First of all, I'll say that this looked to me like a prequel because Senna was wearing an outfit that resembles her outfit from the first game. But I later read into it, and they've confirmed that this is in fact taking place after 1 and 2, after Hellblade 1 and 2. So that's interesting. Also, what's interesting is it looks like they're expanding on the gameplay a little bit more, where you see a little segment of her climbing a rock wall, right? There is some of that in the beginning of the second game, but this one looks like that was more like a cinematic, almost like a cutscene thing. This climbing looked a little bit more gamey, if that makes sense, and the combat looked a little bit more action oriented, where it was more cinematic focused in Hellblade 1 and 2, where you're taking out one enemy at a time, and then this one looks a little bit more like you have a little bit more agency. It feels less cinematic and more like a game. Listen, I had no problem with the more cinematic feel of Hellblade 1 and 2. I liked those games. And I really didn't mind the slow-paced cinematic kind of, that kind of combat experience I liked. And I also, on the other hand, wouldn't mind a more action-oriented Senua game. So I'm very interested. I was very surprised to see this reveal. I want to know more. I want to see more. Interesting title for it to be called Senua. But yeah, was not expecting to see anything from Ninja Theory for a while. So very surprising to see it here, and I can't wait to learn more. 2027 window, we'll see if that sticks. We'll see if it sticks. All right, Fallout 76 is getting free daily rewards until June 15th. Free Fallout First Trial until June 15th. Fallout 76 Infestations is available now. Doom the Dark Ages revealed its Revelations DLC coming July 7th. This one looks interesting. He's wielding a spear like Orisa from Overwatch, spinning it, throwing it, this kind of javelin thing. And what's interesting is this one looks like it's going to be diving into like the origins of the Doomslayer as a human. because there are some flashes of like a hospital on Earth. If you later on in the trailer, you could see these kind of quick flashes of like locations, like Earth-like locations, like a hospital. I've been meaning to go back to the Dark Ages. I beat it last year, but I never did my collectibles run or achievements hunting in it. And I've been meaning to do that in the Dark Ages. So, maybe I do that too this summer, with the DLC as well. We'll see. But that DLC looks really cool. Crazy Taxi World Tour got a reveal, complete with music from the 2000s. I believe that was, I actually don't know. It sounded like The Offspring in that trailer. Coming 2027 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. I've never played Crazy Taxi. I keep hearing about Crazy Taxi. We'll see what it's like next year. Then a hardware reveal. Xbox Series X25 got revealed, an all-new limited edition Xbox Series X console. It's a translucent green Series X, complete with the controller, coming this November. It looked really cool. You could see right into the guts of the console. Green, that Xbox original green color. A really, really cool looking device. Shout out to those who end up getting that. That's a really cool piece. I won't be getting it. I have a Series X and I don't want to be spending $2,000 for a new console just for the looks of it. So yeah, that's cool. Age of Empires 4 Raiders of the North expansion coming fall 2026. Minecraft Dungeon 2 coming September 29th to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Switch 2. I played a lot of the first one, or I think I might have beat the first one back in 2020. Not really interested in a second one. Magicians The Devil's Deal coming 2027 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. That one looks fucking sick. That's a first-person shooter? Question mark, because there's no guns. You're using cards and the classic looking magician wand with the white tip. Really fucking cool. The art style reminds me of like an arcane game. It has that kind of an art style to it. I really liked Magicians. Can't wait to see more. Valor Mortis, one I've had my eye on for a while, is coming September 24th to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. This is where I realized that we have a fucking problem in September. Because if you've been noticing, there are an unbelievable amount of late September games. Unbelievable amount, and Valor Mortis is just one more. And it's going to be tough because there's Control Resident, there's Ace Combat 8 on October 2nd, there's Valor Mortis September 24th. It's going to be difficult. But Valor Mortis looks incredible. Glad to have the release date, though I'm a little frightened of September. The Elder Scrolls Online Season 1 Return of the Thieves Guild is coming July 8th. Flight Simulator 2024 is getting World Update 22 U.S. National Parks July 4th. Which is weird to have Flight Simulator 2024 having like an update announcement in 2026, because it's like we see the trailer, we know it's Flight Sim, and then it comes up Flight Simulator 2024. It's like, okay, interesting to name it that 2 years ago. 2024. Where Winds Meet is out now on Xbox. Hidden Mountain coming in July. I believe that's an expansion. Castlevania Belmont's Curse coming October 15th. Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. That's a really cool 2D game I really can't wait for. Vivarium. So here's my game of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Vivarium. Coming 2027 to Xbox Series X and S and PC. This game, Vivarium, this trailer stole my fucking heart. Game of the show, game of my life. This game, it's this kind of anime, old school anime inspired game, kind of Studio Ghibli-like in its visuals and its music. It's so melancholic and dreamlike, and I fucking loved it. I'm going to watch this trailer a billion times. The end of this trailer revealed something that kind of blew my mind, and I fucking want to play Vivarium right fucking now, man. Right fucking now. Okay, shout out to Vivarium. Then, Persona 6. Big deal right now, okay? Persona 6, boom. Got its reveal coming to Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and PC. I remember a time not too long ago where no Persona games except for a Persona 4 fighting game on fucking 360 existed on Xbox. Not too long ago. Okay? I believe this was like 2020, 2021, even 2022. Because I believe that they started coming to Xbox around 23, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere around there. Not too long ago, there were 0 Persona games on Xbox. And now, look what happens. Persona 6 has its reveal on Xbox's stage. This is fucking crazy. Very, very, very short teaser trailer. A lot of people are complaining that it's too short. It didn't show anything. It's a teaser trailer for Persona 6 that does not have a release date attached. Of course, it's very short and it doesn't show anything. Like, use your head. But yeah, it's probably still a long ways away. I'd say probably 2028 or 2029. Probably 28 if I were to guess. Actually, I hope not late 28. But yeah, it's hard to say that I'm excited for it. I'm more excited for Persona 4 Revival because it's imminent and, I could see what it looks like. But it's really cool to know that the next Persona is on the way. Home stretch for the Xbox show. Spyro: A Realm Beyond coming spring 2027 to Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. Very interesting to see a Spyro game on an Xbox stage. It's an Xbox game because Xbox owns Spyro after acquiring Activision. Spyro, of course, was tied to PlayStation for the longest time, decades, in the earlier PlayStation consoles. But yeah, I love 3D platformers. I've never played a Spyro game. I bought the Reignited trilogy in 2018, never touched it. I believe it's still in the shrink wrap. But I am excited for an all-new Spyro game, A Realm Beyond, next spring. I love 3D platformers, and I want more of them. So it's awesome to have the Purple Dragon. Clockwork Revolution got another new trailer coming 2027. And it is, like Gears E-Day, a Xbox console exclusive. That's right, Xbox and PC only for Clockwork Revolution. I think I've seen enough of Clockwork. I think I speak for everybody when I say that we've seen enough of Clockwork. We just want to play the damn game, all right? So that's next year. The game looks incredible. It looks awesome. But it's one of those games where it's like, all right, I've seen enough. I'm going to play this one when it comes out, and I just can't wait for that day. It's not today, though. And then I think what is probably the weakest Xbox closer in some time. This has been an incredible Xbox showcase. 2 years ago was the best Xbox showcase in history. Last year's was also incredible. This year's also incredible, but this one last thing, very, very weak. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, which was revealed fully a couple weeks ago, and is a game that I am excited for sure. Campaign wise, it looks, and setting wise, it looks fucking awesome from what I've seen so far from Infinity Ward. But to close the showcase with this, I mean, it showed off. So we got the DMZ trailer for the fucking co-op extraction mode. Which, I mean, look, it looked interesting the way they were presenting it, but that's a co-op online game mode. That's not going to play out that way with the comms. It's not going to. I mean, it looks very different from other DMZ experiences from past Call of Duty games. I don't like DMZ. I don't like this Warzone crap. I don't like it, and whatever. Look, really weak way to close the Xbox showcase and what's otherwise an incredible showcase. All right, and of course that's coming, Modern Warfare 4, October 23rd to Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. Weak way to close it, but an incredible Xbox showcase nonetheless. And then obviously followed immediately by a meaty 30-minute, I believe, Gears of War E-Day Direct. We got an in-depth look at Kelowna City, which the entire game is set in Kelowna City. Okay, we got another look at some of the new movement mechanics and some of the new cover mechanics that Gears of War E-Day has, where you have low cover, where your character kind of almost lays completely flat on the ground behind like shin-high cover, and and you're able to do everything that you do, but just like laying down in cover is really interesting. I caught that at the beginning of the showcase, and I thought that was cool. Then it showed off you're able to slide now in E-Day. You could also jump across gaps. The sprint, so it does not look like Roadie Run is here. I think they did away with Roadie Run. I don't think they explicitly said that, but you could see in the trailer the sprint is a traditional sprint, which allows you to do slides and stuff and jump across gaps and stuff. So they tweaked a couple things in the movement, but the game looks like a Gears game. It looks, but the setting, the environments, in being set in the city, this Kelowna city environment looks incredible, and I'm excited to play it in October. Also, they showed off they gave some story details I'm not going to get into, some really exciting story details, but they also showed off Horde Siege, which, correct me if I'm wrong here on screen, is a 12-player Horde mode, which is interesting, with different teams coming together. That's cool. So yeah, that does it for the Xbox showcase. Let me move on now to the PC Gaming Show 2026. Started off with a pre-show, Wielders of the Essence, coming November 5th to PC, demo out now. Warhammer 40,000 Dark Titans getting the new Skitarii class on June 23rd. Spellsighted has a demo out now for PC. That's the end of the pre-show. Then the real show, by the way, PC Gamer Show, always way too long. I think they're never going, I love covering it, I love watching it because it's like part of the tradition of the June gaming E3 and Summer Game Fest event. It's a institution in Summer Game Fest and E3, but it's too long. But I always like watching and covering it here. Real show, Star Trek Outposts Unknown demo out now PC. Hack 95 has a demo out now on PC. Company of Heroes Definitive Edition coming to PC. Red Kiss is coming to PC. Arcane Eats, quote, expanded demo out now, end quote, coming to PC. Serious Sam Shatterverse coming 2026 and has a Steam playtest coming to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. That's when I heard about. I had my eye on. Not sure if I'll play it. We'll see, but interesting. Control Resonant back for one more time. Got an all new trailer. Different trailer each time here too, so you got to respect it. September 24th, of course, like we said, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, and Mac. And it also got like a little dev talk too. Sated is coming to PC. Gone Feral is coming to PC. Abiotic Factor Entropic Break coming autumn 2026 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. There Are No Ghosts at the Grand got an awesome new trailer with another musical number from one of its characters. Fucking awesome. I can't fucking wait for this game. There's a demo out for it right now. It got a window of Q4 2026 coming to Xbox Series X and S and PC. Then Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions coming to early access June 11th. Also coming to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. Virtue and a Sledgehammer demo out now for PC. This one looked really fucking cool. Hopefully it comes to Xbox or consoles sometime in the future. Happy Bastards demo out now for PC. Another Door demo out now for PC. Afterquest coming to PC. /0, quote, coming soon, new character, and, quote, don't know what that means. Coming soon, new character. Interesting. PS5 and PC for /0. Cassette Beats 2002 coming to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. Void Breaker, quote, major update out now, end quote, for Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. Two Fights, Two Tight Spaces, early access out now for PC. This is the one that I said, the worst title in Summer Game Fest 2026. Two Fights, Two Tight Spaces. And those are with numerical twos. Get the fuck out of here. Stronghold 4 coming in 2026 to PC. There's a demo out June 23rd. Wind Runners early access September 33rd. September 33rd. Yeah, this September's never gonna fucking end. September 23rd, and there's a demo out now on PC for Wind Runners, which is a PC game. Wardens of Avalon coming 2027 to PC. Planet Zoo 2 got a gameplay reveal coming October 13th to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. Impulse got an early is coming in early access to on Impulse is coming in early access on June 24th to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. Archeron is getting a playtest. It's coming to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. Revamp is coming to PC. War Dogs is coming early access 2026 to PC. Shroom and Gloom has a new demo out now on PC. Maximum Thunderness is coming in the fall. There's a demo out now, and it's coming to PC. Rivage is coming August 13th. There's a PC demo out now. Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC. Time Strike is coming to PC. Signet City is coming to PC. Mr. Magpie's Harmless Card Game is coming to PC, and there's, quote, exclusive rewards coming to Dead by Daylight, end quote. Ascenders Beyond the Peak is coming to early access in Q3 2026, and there's a Steam demo out now. That's on PC. Outward 2 is getting early access on July 7th, and there's a beta out now. It's on PC. Thief: The Dark Project Remastered is coming winter to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PS4, PC, Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Switch 2. This is the game of the PC Gamer Show for me. I love stealth games. The only Thief game I've played is the 2014 game. I didn't even beat that, but I have such fond memories of that game. And seeing this trailer for Thief: The Dark Project Remastered by Night Dive Studios, of course, kind of gave me some of those feelings again. It's interesting. I really am excited for this. I love Night Dive's remasters. I'm what they're doing is awesome, and I really can't wait to play this first Thief game remastered. I love stealth games. It's an immersive sim too. I am all in on this. Excited for that. Exo Rally Championship out now on PC. Duskers 2.0 is coming to PC. El Paso Elsewhere 2 is coming to Xbox Series X and S and PC. Beast of Reincarnation, a pretty big deal game by the makers of Pokemon. Game Freak, one of the studios behind Pokemon. It's kind of this action RPG, really fucking cool. It was at the Xbox Developer Direct in January. That's, of course, coming August 4th to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. Terranoth, Heroes of Descent is out now on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. Home stretch of the PC Gamer Show. To Kill a God is coming in 2026. There's a demo out now. It's on PC. Pipes.exe is coming to PC. Sunset Summit has a demo out now. That's on PC. Clown Town is coming to PC. Armistice is coming in winter to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. Dave the Diver in the Jungle DLC is coming June 18th to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo Switch 2. Carcass Clad's coming to PC. This was an interesting one from the studio behind Mouthwashing, a game that I've been waiting forever to come to Xbox, and I'm still waiting, but their new game looks fucking awesome. You're in this tank with a bunch of people yelling at you, and there's animal carcasses on the tank. It looks fucking like a bad dream, okay? And I'm interested in that. Carcass Clad. Total War Warhammer 40,000 is getting a closed beta. It's coming to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. About Fishing has a Steam demo out now. It's coming to PlayStation 5 and PC. Vampire the Masquerade Eternal Whispers coming to PC. Valheim is getting its 1.0 release and Deep North expansion on September 9th. It's coming to Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. Pon, or P-O-N, is coming in Q2 2027 to PC. Locator, The Search for Abigail Ladar, is coming to PC. Exodus is coming to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and PC. Exodus also got like a big showing somewhere else somewhere in the Summer Game Fest. Starring Matthew McConaughey. I just think it looks so generic. It just looks like a generic sci-fi game. I'm not really that interested in Exodus, to be honest with you. Remothered Red Nun's Legacy is coming 2026 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, PC, and Nintendo Switch 2. Never played a Remothered game, but they look cool. This is the third one in the trilogy, I think. Also, the first two Remothered games are free on Steam right now. Then, final game of PC Gamer Show, Into the Wind, is coming to PC. And that wraps up the PC Gamer Show. And also, that wraps up Summer Game Fest 2026, at least my coverage of it here. Yeah, just a couple of highlights for you. To go through showcase by showcase really quick, these are the games that caught my attention the most, that I'm most excited about, that were revealed in the state of play. Really nice to see Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis and its release date. Really cool to see Onimusha Way of the Sword and its release date. Ace Combat 8 Wings of Thief, I'm looking forward to. Stuntman Hollywood, I'm interested in. Ill looked cool. And then Control Resonant as well. Summer Game Fest showcase highlights for me, obviously, Resident Evil Veronica, fuck yes. Alien Isolation 2, gotta get around to that first game. Gen Atlas looked great. Stranger Than Heaven, fucking excited for January 15th. Crossfire really, really impressed me. I think that might be the game of the show in terms of the Summer Game Fest showcase for me personally. Star Wars Galactic Racer was nice to see. End of Abyss got its release date. Virtua Fighter Crossroads impressed me uncharacteristically. We're talking about Mafia: The Old Country. Don Salieri coming back into the picture. Or not coming back into the picture. It's a prequel, but you know what I mean. Star Wars Zero Company, excited for that. It was really impressive to see Sonic Racing Crossworld and all its collaborations going on. Clutch impressed me with its narrative. The Wolf Among Us 2 sent me out of my fucking seat, and I'm really excited for the Wolf Among Us 1 remaster. Stellar Blade Blood Rain looks fucking awesome. And then, of course, Final Fantasy VII Revelation next year. And I'm very excited to jump into those first two games starting this summer. My highlights of the Day of the Devs. Mr. Records impressed me. Dreadmore, like I mentioned. Into the Unwell, I hope that comes to console one day. Bub, I hope that comes to console one day. Prove You're Human, which had like this giant fate, really cool. Hope that comes to console one day. And that's the deal with a lot of these Day of the Devs and PC Gamer Show, is they're primarily PC games, and so very few of them are coming to console. A lot of them do in the future, but at these showcases when they're revealed, they only show PC, and hopefully all these come to console. Ithaca looked interesting. Screenbound, of course, I'm excited for this September. Apple Crumble looked cool. Super Ukulele Cart as well. And then When Sirens Fall Silent. Hopefully that one also comes to consoles at some point. As for the Xbox show, my highlights, obviously seeing Gears of War E-Day. Fable trailer, best Fable trailer yet. Resonance, nice seeing that and a release date. Persona 4 Revival, thank God it's early next year. Metro 2039, love Metro. Bad Magpie, piqued my interest. Senua surprised the fuck out of me. Did not expect that. Magicians, The Devil's Deal. Can't wait to make a deal with the devil for that. Valor Mortis got a release date. That was cool. Castlevania Belmont's Curse was cool. Vivarium, game of the fucking show. I love that shit. Persona 6 was cool to see get revealed. Spyro Realm Beyond. Clockwork Revolution. A lot of fucking highlights. This was one of the best Summer Game Fests in totality in a long time. Or not in a long time, but this was a very, very good Summer Game Fest. Not just the showcase itself, but all of these events. The Xbox show, like fucking awesome Xbox show. As for PC gaming show highlights, Control Resonant, of course. There Are No Ghosts at the Grand, can't wait for that. Virtue and a Sledgehammer, hopefully that comes to PC one day. Rivage, which was a kind of sci-fi narrative adventure game. I can't wait to get into that. In August. Thief the Dark Project remastered, can't wait for that. Beast of Reincarnation, of course. Armistice caught my attention. Carcass Clad caught my attention, and as did About Fishing. So yeah, those are my highlights for all these showcases. There were also a bunch of other showcases that I did not get to cover in this recap video. You should check all of them out. They are the Black Voices in Gaming Showcase, Latin America Game Showcase, Woman-Led Game Showcase, Southeast Asian Game Showcase, Wholesome Direct June 2026, Story Rich Showcase, Green Games Showcase, Pride Parade Showcase, Frosty Games Fest, Deutsch Indie Showcase, India Game Showcase, and the Mixed Summer Game Showcase Go check all those out. I'll put either cards up or links in the descriptions to all those showcases. Go check them all out. But thank you for sticking around for my recap of all the major Summer Game Fest showcases here, all in the time of just one of them. So thank you. My second ever Summer Game Fest recap. Tons of exciting games to look forward to throughout the rest of this year and next year. And I'm considering doing a Gamescom recap as well in August. We'll see how that goes. If not, I'll see you for the Game Awards. So thanks for sticking around. And until next time, see you later. Goodbye.